Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
I'm Jess.
Today we're going to be talking about Bran and about Daenerys. But first, what are we drinking today, Jessica?
And ginger!
Woohoo! Ooh, ginger
Same shit as
time.
always.
It's ginger time. Jake is also drinking ginger tea.
Ooh.
He has been having a rough time with his voice lately.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, ever since he started our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, he can no longer talk.
Is it from talking too much?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
So I told him we have to get him a nice herbal tea, and he should be drinking that to soothe his throat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I know. He's never talked this much in his life.
Wow.
So yeah, we got him a lovely ginger tea. He's sipping on that right now. He kept asking me why it was so spicy. Very cute. I tasted it and I was like, this could be stronger. We got a bunch of new tea.
Ooh.
From the same place. Well, you can try some tomorrow. You're coming over.
Shit, son, I am.
Yeah. So I'm drinking. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down?
Yes.
A lavender Earl Grey.
Oh shit. Does it taste like soapy Earl Grey?
Kinda. I think it sounds really good. I think it's better in theory than in reality.
Yeah, I think lavender tastes like soap.
But at the same time, it's like, it hits nice. It hits different, but it hits nice.
Well, that's good.
It's just like soothing. And it's got that like punch that Earl Grey has, so it's really nice.
Yeah. Guess so.
Yeah. But like it does taste a little soapy. Yeah.
Even rose. I don't like rose.
Oh dude, I used to get the rose latte from Starbucks all the time.
Whoa. They had a rose latte.
I think they still have it. You can still go order it. And it tastes literally like a bar of soap.
I bet it does.
But I kept ordering it, and I don't really know why.
Wow. You must have liked it in some soapy sense. You know, like how there's that candy that's soap flavored?
Wait, what? No?
There's a soap flavored candy that is successful enough that it can like survive.
What kind of candy is this?
Well, it's gum. Thrills gum.
And it's supposed to taste like soap?
Yep. It tastes like soap. It still tastes like soap. That's their slogan.
What?
You know, you buy it for $1.59. It's from Tootsie Rolls.
Is
Industry or Candy Funhouse? I don't know.
Is this a international thing, or is this just like a only in Europe?
I don't know.
Like, have you had it before?
It's Canadian!
Oh my god, we are such freaks.
Retro gum that tastes like soap. Soap gum!
I am curious, though. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I guess people like soap.
I mean, I guess, because I'm...
Oh my god. There is so many comments with 5 stars. Delicious soapy taste? What?
That's so weird.
Like people like that.
I keep eating and drinking the stuff that tastes like soap, and I'm not really sure why, because I recognize that it does not taste great. But I still keep doing it, so I feel like it's some sort of weird addiction thing.
Maybe you'd like it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I kind of want to try this weird shit. So there's that. I'm drinking that lavender Earl Grey.
Awesome.
Smells better than it tastes.
I bet.
Alright, where did we leave off our characters in A Storm of Swords?
Wow. Okay. Bran and friends are hiding in a tower when a bunch of men arrive outside, and in an effort to keep Hodor silent, Bran wargs into him, and then he wargs into Summer to check them out and sees his brother.
His brother.
John.
I'm your brother.
Brother.
That's Eric's slogan.
That sounded a lot
your brother.
like Eric.
Your
now
brother.
I miss playing games with all of y'all.
Aww. Maybe next weekend.
Maybe.
Or during the week. Fuck it.
Fuck
Do
it. Dany arrives at, I think, Astapor, who have hired the Second Sons and other swords or slaves. Yunkai?
Yunkai.
Okay. Dany arrives at the Yunkai.
Did you say the Yunkai?
Yup. Who have hired the Second Sons and other swords or slave soldiers to protect themselves from her. One of the Second Sons betrays his men for her and kills them all and helps her take the city.
So, chapter 56 is Bran. Bran, the Reeds, Hodor, and Summer have reached the Wall, the Night Fort specifically, which is, I checked out the map, 3 castles west of Castle Black.
Oh.
Fun facts. Bran is scared now that they're here. He thinks about the dream he and Summer had, which he hasn't yet told the Reeds. He hopes that if he never speaks of it, he will forget it, and Robb and Grey Wind will still be safe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, he has clearly seen their death, but he only thinks about Robb and Grey Wind, so I'm like, does he not know about his mom, or does he just not care?
I wonder if the kids' wolves are all connected as well, so like they all like are aware of each other.
Oh.
But not the mom?
That's possible. He has never seen his mom in one of his like weird dreams. He's seen his dad, but that makes sense because he's also a Stark.
Yeah.
Interesting. So maybe, yeah, they just have some sort of weird bond that
Direwolf bond.
the direwolf bond.
Mayhaps.
The wolf blood.
Heck yeah.
Jojen sees Bran's face and tries to assure him that there's nothing here that can hurt them. Bran, however, remembers all of Old Nan's scariest stories taking place here, in the Night Fort, including the one about the Night's King.
Hey, what?
Uh-huh. You heard that right, folks. The Night's King.
Ooh, first time hearing it.
Yeah, I even wrote that down as a note. That's the first time we're hearing that name.
Ooh, fun.
Mm-hmm. But it is Night's King.
Different, for sure.
So, just make a note of that. I'm sure that's very vital and will be extremely important and different from the show because of the added S.
Yep.
Are you over my bullshit yet? That means yes. Not only is Bran scared of this place, but he is frustrated that they came here at all because there's no way through. The gate is sealed, and has been since the day the Black Brothers abandoned the castle. But Jojen Reed insisted there would be a way through. He had a green dream. Okay, Jojen. He's a prophet. Bran says they should have followed Jon to Castle Black. That night, Summer had taken an arrow, which drove Bran out of his skin. And for the rest of that night, whenever Bran tried to reach out for Summer, he was driven back by the pain. Poor Summer. He took an arrow to the knee.
How did he get shot in the knee again? Was it with the wildlings?
Yeah. When he was fighting around and helping out Jon.
Poor guy.
Mm-hmm. That fateful night, the wildlings left. They left the next day. And Summer came back and swam out to the tower. And Meera took the arrow out of his leg and tended to his injury, and now Summer is limping less and less each day.
Oh, yeah.
They stayed in the tower another night to put more leagues between them and the wildlings, which was Jojen's idea. Now at the Night Fort, Meera suggests they try another castle, But Bran says all the castles will have sealed doors except the ones that are manned. Castle Black, Eastwatch, and the Shadow Tower. So Meera decides to casually climb to the top of the fucking wall.
Oh. Of the wall?
The wall. Where hopefully she'll see something to help their situation. But
whoa.
What?
What the hell?
Oh, and the Night Fort does not have the little elevator thing. It does not have built stairs or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of does. It has stairs that are carved out of the ice.
Ugh.
In the actual wall.
Wow.
But we'll get to that in a second. Bran wants to climb the wall and stand on top with Meera, but he's a broken boy and is stuck watching from below and judging her climbing skills. He thinks she's basically just walking up the steps, which again are cut from the ice of the wall itself. Bran was told once that the Night Fort is the only castle with such steps. The steps are far from safe, though. They've shrunk and warped over time, and Meera sometimes has to get down on all fours to traverse them. But she makes it to the top and vanishes from sight. Can you fucking imagine?
No. Jesus Christ.
She's basically crawling up little stumps of ice.
Wouldn't that have taken like hours or something?
Right? They just fucking watch her do it. Like it's 800 feet or something,
eating
dumb, right?
popcorn or something? What the
Literally.
heck?
Literally, yes. Except they don't have popcorn, but yes. Oh my god. They're just a little too casual about all of that for me. I was like, what the shit?
That's not awe-inspiring? Goddamn.
It's like a sheer drop on one side and then a frozen wall on the other side. Bruh. Even if it was like proper steps, that would be sketchy.
Yeah. Ice steps? Fuck that. That high?
That.
Fuck that.
Jojen, Bran, and Hodor explore down below as she's up there. They poke around through the rooms and tunnels, which are occupied only by rats, and Bran tells Jojen that the Night Fort is twice as old as Castle Black. It was the first castle on the wall and the largest, but it had also been the first abandoned. Bran tells Jojen about the ghosts that are here. In ancient times, before even Aegon the Dragon, 79 deserters were caught and sealed up in the ice alive. Now they're called the 79 Sentinels. They left their posts in life, so in death their watch goes on forever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Again, just a little too fucking casual about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just like a folk tale. Like, they don't know if it's true, but...
That's still, that's horrific.
Yep. Sealed in the ice alive. Well, they wouldn't survive for long, so... They keep...
Continue.
It's just some casual torture before you die.
Just a little.
Just a bit. Just a tad. They keep exploring, finding nothing but rats and an old empty castle. When Meera returns, she tells them there's no way down. She could maybe make it down with a good rope and an axe, but the rest of them would not be able to. She asks Jojen if he's sure he has the right castle, and he says yes, there is a gate here, which makes Bran hard roll his eyes. As the sun sets, Bran starts to think of the story of the Night's King. He was the 13th man to lead the Night's Watch. Lucky number 13. He was a warrior who knew no fear, and that was his fault, according to Old Nan. All men must know fear. He glimpsed a woman from atop the wall, with white skin and blue eyes, and he chased her and made love to her, though her skin was cold as ice. And when he gave her his seed, he gave his soul as well.
Horn dog?
Yeah. But, what the heck is this creature with white skin and blue eyes? Was it a white?
Ew.
Did he make love to a white?
Like it knocked it up, apparently.
Oh my god. But it's I don't know. Why am I fucking logically trying to figure this out? It's not gonna make any sense.
Nope.
He brought her back to the Night Fort and proclaimed her a queen and himself a king. and bound his sworn brothers to his will with some strange sorcery. They ruled for 13 years, the Night's King and his corpse queen, until finally the Stark of Winterfell and Joramun of the Wildlings joined forces to free the Watch from bondage. After his fall, they found that he had been sacrificing to the others. So they destroyed all records of his. Even his very name was forbidden.
A history of some rando guy who knocked up a wife, married her, and ruled with her?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of special white was this? Or was it a Nightwalker lady?
Right? Like, what? Yeah, there's really not a lot to go off of here. But something I did notice is that his name is forbidden, which kind of sounds like the god whose name cannot be spoken from Melisandre's religion.
Ooh. Ooh.
What?
Like the thing, whatever the being is that Azor Ahai is supposed to be born again to
defeat, yeah.
Oh.
But I also kind of thought, this god would be the Night King. But I also thought he was, like, way older than the Starks. And, like, the Wall, even. Like, why is the Wall there if not to protect against the Night King?
True.
Like, there were others before him? Obviously, he was sacrificing to them.
Yeah.
But I always thought that, like, the Night King created the others.
Maybe it's different in the books?
Oh, shit. So where the fuck did the others come from?
Yeah.
Or is there, like, another Night King? Like, is this guy trying to imitate someone else? Anyway, I had many questions.
Yeah.
And no answers.
Nope.
There is a debate about what family he was from, but old Nan always insisted he was a Stark, the brother of the man who brought him down. So we don't know who it was, but old Nan apparently used to tease Bran by saying it might have been a Brandon. There were like 1,000 Brandon Starks, so...
Yeah.
That night they sleep in the kitchens because it offers the best shelter in there.
Sure.
But Bran is uncomfortable because he thinks of the story, another one of old Nan's spooky stories. He thinks of the story of the rat cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had cooked the son of the Andal king into a pie in these very kitchens and fed him to his father. Old Nan always told Bran that he was cursed by the gods afterwards, not because of the murder, but because he slew a guest beneath his roof, and that's a thing the gods cannot forgive.
Ooh.
Ooh, relevant. But I love how that's the thing that the gods can't forgive, but yeah, they'll just forgive, like, regular murder.
Yeah, sure. Regular murder is normal in this world, I guess.
I mean, you're not wrong. And yeah, apparently in the kitchens there's also a well, like, right in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I guess to keep it from freezing over.
Oh, that makes sense. And just, like, easy access.
Yeah. No one wants to go out in the cold just for water.
Can you imagine just, like, walking around this busy kitchen, though, and you just, like, trip and fall in?
Rip.
It's 12 feet across, all stone, with
Whoa.
steps built into its side.
Oh, so you can go in.
Yeah.
Swim.
Yeah. So you can, like, walk all the way down in there. I guess in case you need to, like... you dropped, like, the chicken in there or something. You gotta get it out. If you don't want chicken broth for all of your water. It's so deep and dark that none of them can see the water at the bottom.
Yikes.
Is there still water in there?
Apparently, damn.
I mean, that's what a well is, right? It just, like, digs into natural water
Yeah.
thingies. I don't know what to call it. I'm not educated, okay? Bran has trouble sleeping that night and hears a noise at one point, like a scuffling sound.
Oh, Rat King.
Oh, shit. He thinks of all old Nan's scary stories and is terrified.
He's such a kid.
Yeah. Literally me, though, when I was his age.
Same.
Yeah. Except you actually saw shit. I never saw shit. But I was still scared.
I guess with like two siblings.
Huh?
Like telling you scary stories.
Yeah, but I think I was more scared by like visual stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like when Dad put on scary movies or I saw trailers for scary movies.
Yeah. Getting nightmares from Scary Movie 3. Or is it 3?
Yeah. I did. How do you remember that?
Because you always used to get nightmares when you talk about it.
Yeah, so Scary Movie 3 gave me nightmares because I thought that the parody version of the Ring Girl was super creepy. And then also I remember the trailer for Halloween 2 gave me nightmares for like weeks.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Just the trailer.
Trailer for that.
Hmm?
Were you young when you saw the trailer for that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my, how did you see the trailer for that?
For Halloween 2?
Yeah, isn't that like scary?
It was just like on TV or something.
Huh.
Like, I don't know, Dad had Jeopardy on or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh shit. And then Halloween 2 was just right on TV and scare any kid.
It was just a trailer. Like, it wasn't like meant to be that scary, but I was just like, I don't
Such a
know.
whim?
Yeah. Michael Myers freaked me out. It was the mask or something. I don't know. It was the knife. It was the mask. Shit.
He's scary.
Yeah. Where was I? Scuffling. Yes. Bran is scared. At one point, he realizes he is hearing footsteps coming from the well. So he drags himself over to Meera and wakes her. Meera hears the sounds at once and gets up, grabbing her frog spear and net. She slips towards the well. Jojen just keeps sleeping. And Bran feels guilty that Meera is going by herself. He wants to reach for Summer, but the wolf is too far away. So, he reaches for Hodor with his mind. It's not like reaching for Summer, which are like so easy now. He can like just close his eyes and be Summer. Instead, right now, he feels Hodor's fear and Hodor trying to fight him. But he makes it in. He stands and takes a step in Hodor's body, seeing himself on the floor, a little broken boy. But he doesn't feel broken as Hodor. He feels strong and he's like walking. He's like, holy shit. And he picks up Hodor's sword. How fucking crazy is this?
It is.
He's just taken over a person's mind.
It is totally great.
And I don't care how simple-minded Hodor is. Like, the human mind is complicated.
Yeah, and with him fighting like that, like, what?
Can't feel good for either of them.
Feels kind of gross now that I, like, weird that, like, he's fighting back. I'm like, oh.
It is. It is. I agree with you. Yeah, there's just something not right about it. It's just like, oh, and that makes me think about, you know, the part in the show.
Close the door?
Close the door. Or, yeah, hold the door.
Oh, yeah, hold the door.
And, that's just, like, dirty. Because that wasn't, I mean, this is spoilers, but that was Bran. You know? Making him do it.
It was.
Which breaks my heart. It was not Hodor's choice.
He was just a tool all along. No.
Yeah, that makes me sad. Anyway, I mean, maybe this book will be different.
Hopefully.
Shit. Alright. Then a huge black shape comes up from the well and something wails. Bran is so scared that he's expelled from Hodor's body and is back on the floor. Hodor is roaring and the dark shape is screaming and thrashing in Meera's net. Meera stabs it with her spear and it falls. She stands over it and asks who it is, and it says, "It's Sam." What? Sam? Shut up. No, I was honestly shook.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this from the show. Like 0% of it.
Nice. I like that.
Jojen lights a fire, and Bran sees a pale, thin-faced girl by the well trying to shush the baby in her arms, and a big fat man dressed all in black who is caught in the net. Mm-hmm. Bran recognizes that he's from the Night's Watch, and Sam confirms it. Gilly introduces herself as Meera lets Sam out of her net, and Gilly explains they came from Craster's and asks Jojen if he's the one. She explains that Coldhands said Sam wasn't the one. There was someone else he was meant to find. Sam says Coldhands told them there would be someone up in the castle, but he didn't expect them to be right at the top of the steps. He whines and asks if he's bleeding, and Meera snaps that she only poked him. And she takes a look, realizes he's wearing mail, and then I think loses some respect for poor Sam. She's like, bruh, I did not even get through your armor.
It's so good.
Bran starts to question whether Sam is actually from the Night's Watch.
Oh,
but Sam tells him he's just a steward. Jojen asks how they got through the wall, and Sam tells them about a hidden gate called the Black Gate, as old as the wall itself.
Wow.
The Black Gate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. At work today, it was like super slow, and I didn't have a lot to do, so I was writing.
Oh.
And I was trying to come up with a name for a gate.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are some cool names for gates that are in like other fantasy stories? And the first thing I thought of was the Black Gate of Mordor in Lord of the Rings.
Oh. Nice.
So now I am learning that Game of Thrones also has a Black Gate.
Here's another one.
Huh.
There's probably more too. Black Gate it sounds good.
It does sound good, but also
And
like
it's enough to be like common.
We know that George was a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
It sure is.
So is this like an homage, or is he like,
Ooh, it could very well be a nod.
Mm-hmm. Or he just liked how it sounded. Or there's a reason that we don't know of that it's called the Black Gate.
Both is good.
It's probably because it's the Night's Watch and they wear black. That's probably why. Fuck.
That sounds right, too.
Yeah, overthinking this. But anyway, yeah. Sam says he will have to take them there if they want to go through, because only a man of the Night's Watch can open it, according to Coldhands. Gilly says that isn't his real name, Coldhands. They just call him that because of his cold hands.
It's a good name.
She tells them about how he saved them with his ravens and elk, and Bran wonders if he was green and had antlers. He's thinking about, like, the green men. The mystical green men, or whatever.
Oh. I was like, oh, what the heck?
No, yeah. He has a reason for wondering that. Sam tells them he wasn't green. He wore blacks like a brother, but was pale as a white. He wasn't a white, though, because his eyes weren't blue and he could speak. Sam says he'll be waiting. They should go. Meera asks why he didn't come through, and Sam says he can't. There are spells woven into the wall that won't allow Coldhands to pass. Jojen then tells them that Bran is the one Sam was told to bring. Sam looks uncertain at the sight of broken Bran, but then realizes that Bran must be Jon Snow's brother. Jon Snow's brother. The one who fell.
Oh.
Jojen immediately says that boy is dead, but Bran asks Sam to tell no one, so Sam and Gilly promise to keep his secret. Sam explains how Jon went north, and Bran tells him that Jon is actually on this side of the wall, my man. He escaped some wildlings and headed for Castle Black. Summer then comes out of the darkness. Gilly is scared, but Sam is actually surprisingly comfortable. He says he knows Ghost and offers his hand to Summer, who licks it. And that is when Bran decides they will go with Sam. Trust your wolf. That's a good instinct, I think.
Go with Sam to the Castle Black?
Downstairs to the Black Gate.
Oh, okay.
I'm picking up on a bit of a theme here that When they, like, trust their wolves, things go well. And when they don't trust their wolves, things don't go well.
Yeah. Things go very wrong.
Very, very wrong. Like, you end up wearing your wolf's head. So they gather their things, hoist Bran into a seat on Hodor's back, say goodbye to Gilly, who will wait here in the kitchens for Sam's return, and then follow Sam down the steps. It's a long way down, and Hodor plays with the echoes. Sam stops at the door, but the door is actually a white weirwood tree with a face. How the fuck is this thing alive?
Exactly. What?
Oh, but, that's not the weirdest part. The door opens its eyes and asks, "Who are you?" Sam says the oath of the Night's Watch, and then the door's mouth opens wide and huge, or I guess the tree's mouth opens wide and huge, large enough for a person to pass through, and Sam waves them through. And, yep. That's it.
Yo, that's crazy.
What the fuck?
Secret door is through a freaking weirwood.
That, like, opens its mouth like the fucking Deku Tree? What is this shit? Welcome to your first dungeon. Was any of that in the show?
No.
What happens in the show?
I think they found a tunnel, but you didn't see them go in the tunnel.
Oh my god. And there's no weird fucking tree.
No.
Okay, and what's the deal with Coldhands?
Coldhands.
Who is he? And why does he want Bran?
Following the orders of the three-eyed crow.
Right. It sounds so wrong to say three-eyed crow.
Hey, I want to say three-eyed raven.
Yeah, me too.
It's like his thrall or something.
What's a thrall?
The state of being in someone's power.
Oh.
Being in someone's power.
Okay.
A slave, servant, captive.
Oh.
Clearly it's like some white that's been like magicked into having a himself still.
And I think
being a little bit of a person.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to assume that it's a member of the Night's Watch, because he's all in blacks.
Yep.
But I'm becoming less convinced that it's, what's his face? What's his name again? The uncle.
Benjen.
I'm becoming less convinced that it's Benjen.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we're definitely going to find out in the next Bran chapter, because when he meets Coldhands, if he does not recognize him, then it's obviously not Benjen.
Ooh. Yep, so it is coming up. We're gonna find out soon then.
Mm-hmm.
However soon the next Bran chapter is, if there is one.
They are few and far between, so I actually don't know if we're gonna have another one anytime soon. Okay, so next we've got chapter 57, Daenerys.
Woohoo, Dany.
All right, here we go.
Like a breath of fresh air. Like no more like savage war. Like I guess savage war, but like it's like all against people that you all know of. It's like little side tale.
Yeah, I think I kind of felt that way throughout the whole show as well. That Dany was kind of like, when things in Westeros got a bit too much, we could like move over to Dany, and it's like, okay.
Take a little breather, like relax a little.
Yeah, but then when her shit starts going bonkers, it's like, okay, back to Westeros, and it's like, okay. Yeah, it's cool that they're like connected in the way that they are, but they're also very separate in that like we're not too concerned about what's going on in Westeros when we're with Dany.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Alright, chapter 57 is Dany. Meereen is as large as Astapor and Yunkai combined, with high walls, defensive towers, and bastions. A great pyramid is visible behind the walls, 800 feet tall, topped with a towering bronze harpy.
That's taller than the wall, eh?
Yeah, it's like the same, yeah. I think in the show the wall is like 800 feet tall, but then in the book it's like 700 or something.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same Height is the wall, yeah.
Damn.
Upon their approach, a hero is sent out from the city. He rides beneath the walls, challenging them to send a champion to meet him in single combat. Dany refuses to send anyone, which Jorah thinks is wise. But Whitebeard says he is planting the seeds of doubt in her people. Because he's just, like, riding around, like, insulting them and saying that they're shit. Hey, you over there. You smell like butt. That's basically what's happening right now. Dany's host is over 80,000 after young Kai.
Whoa.
Bruh. But, important note, fewer than a quarter of them are soldiers. The rest will soon be starving, and the great masters of Meereen had withdrawn before Dany's advance, harvesting all they could and burning what they couldn't. Scorched fields and poisoned wells greet them, and worst of all, they had nailed a slave child up on every milepost along the road from Yunkai, with their entrails hanging out and one arm outstretched to point the way to Meereen. Now that's about as fucked up as it gets.
Yeah, I agree.
Dario, who was leading her van now, wanted to take them down before she could see them, but she told him she would see every single one, count them, look upon their faces, and remember.
Ooh.
As the hero taunts them, cheered on by Meereen's defenders on the wall, Brown Ben Plum tells Dany his name is Osnak Zopal, the hero.
Oh, okay.
Not Ben. Brown Ben is the new leader of the Second Sons. They watch as the hero whips out his wiener and pisses in their general direction. Yeah, so, calling them smelly butts is not too far out of the realm of possibility here. Dany knows she can't ignore this for much longer before her own people will start to think her weak.
Smart.
So Dany summons strong Belwas to meet him. He is her most expendable warrior. And he was also a slave here once, so it will be most shameful if their hero were to die fighting him. Belwas is, like, super cool and casual about it, too. He's just like, prepare some food for me.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at.
So the hero charges Belwas on his horse 3 times, but he just ducks out of the way super easily each time.
Nice.
Yeah, but Jorah explains that part of the reason is that the hero's lance is too long, which, like, I don't know, makes it easier to, like, smack out of the way or, like,
Okay.
dodge it. I don't really know. But apparently the smart move here would be to trample Belwas down with the horse instead of trying to impale him.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and Dany kind of thinks about, like, yeah, that's what the Dothraki do. They just literally trample people.
Yeah.
On his 4th charge, Belwas cuts the horse's leg and the hero falls from the saddle. The people of Meereen are suddenly dead silent. Belwas and the hero attack each other with their swords. The hero gets in one cut before Belwas takes off his head.
Nice.
He holds it up high for the Meereenese to see. I don't know if that's what they're called. I think I just made that up. Meereenese.
Oh, hell yeah. I totally, like, just believed you. I was like, yeah, Meereenese, yeah.
Yeah. He holds it up high for them and then flings it towards the gates. So the defenders on the walls start firing their crossbows at Belwas, but the bolts fall short, so it's, like, not an issue. And then he turns around and shits in their general direction. He literally pulls down his pants, squats, and takes a fat dump.
That is nasty.
And to add insult to injury, he wipes himself with the hero's cloak. Ugh.
That's nasty.
That is so gnarly. Dude.
I'm grossed out.
I think even if I, like, tried to shit in front of an audience, I wouldn't be able to. Even if I had to go really bad.
You know, it used to be normal for kings to hold meetings while they're taking shits.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, where did you get this information from?
I was just learning things about medieval, like, things about this, like, medieval culture, society on YouTube.
Oh my god, Jake loves that shit. I wonder if he knows that.
If I find the YouTube channel again, because it's recommended to me whenever I go on, I'll send it to you. They have like fun little tidbits. They're not very long, the videos.
Cool. Yeah, Jake is obsessed with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Alright, so Belwas is rewarded when he returns with cheers and a promise of liver and onions, which is apparently what he eats after every victory. Okay.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. He is not concerned about his wound. He says he lets every man cut him once so that you can see how many on his body he has slain. But Dany insists on having his wound treated, considering she lost Khal Drogo to a similar wound. Yes, she has learned from her mistakes. But also, I don't know if that's exactly what killed him.
True. You may never know.
Yeah. When Belwas is all wrapped up, she calls her captains and commanders into her pavilion and begins discussions on how best to take the city. There are no obvious weaknesses on the wall and no wood to build siege towers. Dany's people are tired and hungry, and Jorah's advice is to leave. The thought of it makes Dany ill, especially after seeing all the child slaves with their entrails hanging out. But even if they leave, Jorah admits her people will have to either feed themselves somehow or starve. Many will die on the march before they reach anywhere that will be able to provide for them. But Dany thinks of them as her children and says she will not march them off to die. Brown Ben then suggests the sewers as a way in. It was how he escaped Meereen originally. So Brown Ben was apparently also from Meereen? Sounds like he was a slave there once as well.
Oh, alongside
Mr. Belwas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's suggesting the sewers. He says they are closed with iron grates, but some have rusted through enough that they could maybe, bust their way through. Once inside, it's a long, foul climb through a pitch-black maze. She decides, Dany, that she must think on this more and excuses them all. As they're leaving, Viserion flaps around Brown Ben's head, and Dany tells him he likes him. Ben then admits he has a drop of dragon blood. Dany's like, what? How? Who? And he says a dragon princess from King Aegon's day. But there have been 5 King Aegons, and he does not know which one.
Okay.
Yeah. So he leaves. Dany rests with her dragons and thinks about how she could fly over the walls with them if they were large enough to ride. But she is only one, and the other 2 will also need riders. She thinks about Daario. She is enticed by him for sure, but knows that he is not what one would call a good man. I mean, he murdered his own partners, for fuck's sake. But then again, Khal Drogo wasn't really a good man either.
True.
Yeah. She wonders what it would mean if she took him into her bed. Jorah would be angry, but he was the one who told her she had to take 2 husbands. Perhaps she should just marry them both and be done with it.
Okay.
Yep. She decides to go for a ride around her camps and to take Whitebeard with her. He won't talk too much or look at her like Daario does. So she feels like that's kind of what she needs to think and mull things over. They ride past the Unsullied, who salute her as she passes, in their way of saluting, which is like some sort of fist to the chest situation. They ride by the water, where she looks out at her 3 ships, which are actually technically Magister Illyrio's ships. The encampments of the free men are much more noisy and chaotic than the soldiers. People call out to her and come up to touch her legs. A tall, ragged man with a shaved head grabs her wrist at one point and yanks her from the saddle. Then he draws his sword, and Dany finally recognizes him as Meera. Do you remember who this is?
Who?
Meera. I think he is the guy that she gave the casks of wine to at Yunkai.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the leader of that other group that was there along with the Second Sons.
Uh-huh.
There was like, yeah, this Meera guy who was like hitting on her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When they met, and
saying crude things.
Saying lots of crude things, but she was kind of like flirting back with him to, like, get him on her side. And then he was all like, oh, well, we'll think on it. Can we have some wine? And she was like, take a whole fucking wagon, a guy. And then they're the ones who got, like, so drunk that they weren't able to fight during the battle.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had, like, run away, I think. I don't know. Yeah, so she recognizes Miro, and he, like, calls her some vile name or whatever and says more vile stuff. But Whitebeard leaps off his horse and attacks, moving faster than Dany can follow. He smashes Miro with his staff multiple times and sends him sprawling. When he can no longer get up, the freedmen wash over him and bring their knives and stones down on him over and over and over. Oh my god.
Wow.
They're like, you don't fuck with the Khaleesi.
I don't know.
Damn. Dany is, obviously scared. She shooketh. She could have been killed.
Mm-hmm.
Whitebeard is, like, apologizing profusely for not recognizing Miro without his beard. Apparently he shaved his beard off. But Dany doesn't blame him for that. She did not recognize him either. So they go back to her tent. When Jorah arrives, she tells him what happened. Jorah is suspicious of Whitebeard, weirdly. He asks how could a squire with a stick slay Miro of Braavos? Dany tells Jorah she wants him knighted, but both of them say no at the same time, and she's caught by surprise. Jorah demands that Whitebeard tell them who he is. Whitebeard says he's a better knight than Jorah. He's a knight? Who the fuck is this? He drops to one knee and confesses to Dany that he was a knight in Westeros. And that's when Jorah recognizes him. Miro might have shaved off his beard to hide his identity, but Whitebeard grew a beard to disguise himself. He says he is Barristan Selmy, Lord Commander of the King's Guard. What? Bruh. I'm so dumb.
Didn't see that coming.
Not at all. Not for a second. And I've seen the show. Bruh. I was like, what?
Very nice.
Oh my god. Now we know where he ended up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jorah's like, this man betrayed your house to serve the usurper.
Yeah.
Dany demands the whole truth from him. With tears in his eyes, Barristan Selmy says he is her man. He did serve Robert, but when he was cast aside by the boy on the Iron Throne, and men were sent to kill him that same day, he realized he must find his true king. So, did Barristan Selmy come straight to Essos looking for Dany? Or do you think...
It seems like it.
Why is that the first place he would go? Would he not go to, like, the Starks first, maybe?
I think he's looking for his next king. He's like, well, I know of the Targaryen girl. And he goes back to serve under a king again.
Yeah, but I mean...
That's like his calling. Well,
Rob
why
was
would he
also
choose
calling
Stark
himself a king.
over Targaryen? He's already loyal to Targaryen.
Oh, that's true. He has served the Targaryens in the past, and if there's anyone who has an actual claim to the throne, other than the boy who's on the throne, it would be Dany.
It would.
Okay. I get it.
Okay.
Barristan says perhaps he should die a traitor's death, but if so, he should not die alone. Mormont here fought with Robert on the Trident. He apologizes to Dany for misleading her, but said it was the only way to keep the Lannisters from learning that he had joined her. She is watched. Since she married Khal Drogo, there has been an informer by her side the whole way, selling her secrets. Dany is in denial immediately. She's like, Jorah, tell him that he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong, Jorah. Fucking tell him.
Jorah?
Jorah. This can't be right. Jorah? But Jorah curses Selmy and tells Dany it was only at the start, before he came to know her and love her. And she screams at him to not say that word.
No.
Yep. She backs away, asking what he was promised. The Undying told her she would be betrayed twice more, once for gold and once for love, so she wants to know which it is. Jorah says Varys said he might go home. As her fury grows, Dany thinks that she was going to take him home. Ugh, this is rough. Her dragons sense her anger and start flapping their wings and blowing flame, and with tears on her face, she screams at both of the knights to leave before she has her dragons roast them. She wonders out loud what roast liar smells like. Good burn. Pun intended.
Fun.
Barristan asks where they should go, and she tells them to hell to serve King Robert.
Okay.
They betrayed her, but they saved her, but they lied. She thinks of her fierce, strong bear. What will she do without him? And the one man, her brother's friend, where shall she send them? And then she knows. Ooh, and that's the end. Where the fuck is she gonna send them? And damn, how did I not know that Whitebeard was Barristan Selmy?
Where have you been?
I know. My memory is like, so fucking bad.
It's pretty funny.
There's that, and then she's learning about Jorah's betrayal at the same time, and like, holy shit, that is a lot to take in all at once.
That is. It's like, she's definitely finding out like all these lies, like, oh no, like people around her deceiving her. Going to be hard to trust again.
I was just gonna say, how do you trust anyone after that?
Exactly. That's like her closest confidant, Jorah, and she was lost him.
Not only did he didn't just lie to her, he was selling her out.
He was. Like, the assassin attempts, that, like, probably him.
That happened because of the information that he gave, yeah. I mean, we know that he had gained feelings for her, so he's the one who stopped it happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, but he's still the one who caused it.
Yeah. Just because you changed sides, he still did that.
Oh my god. This is, not when it happens in the show either, is it?
Nope.
Okay, because I remember her sitting in the, like, throne room in Meereen when this happens.
Yeah. When Sir Barristan comes to her, he tells her right away who he is. No, like, pretending.
Oh.
Interesting. And I don't quite remember so much about Sir Jorah. I think Sir Barristan found out that Sir Jorah had been spying. Or he knew that there was a spy around her or something like that and was like searching out who it was, but he eventually finds out and he tells on him.
Oh, I think he would just know from being around Robert, the king.
Could be too.
Like, yeah.
But he needed proof to prove to her.
Oh, did he? Did he have proof?
Yeah, he had a letter.
Oh.
That was like basically saying that he's a free man now. Go.
Oh. Right. In this one, he just kind of admits that it's true. Huh. Well, poor Dany.
A lot of betrayal.
Her emotions were very raw and very real. I think anyone who's been betrayed could relate to her just like scream crying and telling them to get out of her sight.
I can imagine.
Anyway, we should probably end this episode here. Who do we have next time?
We have Tyrion. Sansa and Tyrion! Sansa!
Tyrion, Sansa. So, you can probably guess what's coming if you know the show.
Some
Purple wedding.
comedic relief.
What? Yes, but it will be short-lived. Get it? Pun intended.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of this episode, and he's a really cool guy and makes dope stuff, so check him out. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, such as behind-the-scenes content, outtakes, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he hates. So you will be getting something in return for your contribution, and you'd also be helping us improve the podcast with better equipment, but we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. It is the best way for us to grow. That's it. Thanks again for listening. Ta-ta! Join us next week for the Purple Wedding. Wait, what? Bye!